Welcome to oclifconf. I'm Chris Castle. I'm a developer advocate at Heroku. I had nothing to do with organizing this, but you will soon see the people that put this all together. But I wanted to thank everyone for joining. This is a great turnout. It's a beautiful space. I'm glad you all could take your Friday off and come talk about CLIs and some open source stuff. And yeah, hopefully we can kind of continue and build more momentum around Oclif. It's been pretty cool to see it grow. Kind of, I haven't contributed to it at all, but it's been cool to see it grow and get more and more attention, kind of from the outside looking in. So again, thanks everyone for joining. And right now, I'd like to please give a hand to Nahid and Philipe, who are going to come up and kick us off and tell you what to expect.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, welcome to oclifconf. We're super excited to have you all here. I'm Nahid. I'm a director of product at Heroku, where I oversee all of our product interfaces. So that includes our command line interface, Oclif, and our dashboard and public-facing API. I'm part of the Oclif core team, and I'm joined by Philipe, who is our Heroku CLI lead engineer and also part of the Oclif core team.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for coming out. Some of you are doing this on the trail end of Trailhead. It's a Friday. So excited you're here. When we decided that we wanted to throw this, we wanted to get people together, share ideas on how to build CLIs, how to build on Oclif, what Oclif doesn't do well so we can improve it, and mostly just get people together talking about CLIs and meeting people. We got people from all over the industry here. This is probably the largest gathering of CLI engineers in the world.
Woo!
So
maybe ever.
Maybe ever. Yeah, so we're super excited you're here. Was curious who came from out of town, who flew in from out of town? Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Shout out if you think you came from far away. Florida, okay. New York City.
Nice. Anyone international? India.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Yes, you definitely win furthest flight award, which is just all of our sympathies. So, yes. So, anyways, thank you all so much for coming here. Really, we're going to have presentations and share ideas, but talking and meeting people is really the cornerstone and why we're here. So at Heroku, we have a thing called the hallway track, which just means sort of that informal talking in the hallways and in the buffet lines and all that. And that's why we're here. So engage in that. And I've met a lot of you, and he and I are excited to meet everyone as the day progresses. So head to the website, oclif.io/conf. It has the schedules and our speakers. This is also governed by the Salesforce Code of Conduct for conferences, which is at the bottom if you want to read through. But everything is on the website, so check that out. But Nahid is going to give us a rundown of the schedule.
All right, here is the latest schedule. It's changed a little bit since yesterday, so you can refer to this, and I think we have the latest on the site as well. So right now we're at 10 a.m. It's the welcome. Next we'll have The Future of Oclif by Jeff Dickey, who is one of the Oclif founding engineers. Then we'll have Josh from Salesforce Open Source talk about open source citizenship. We'll have a 20-minute break. And then Thomas Vornik will talk about building an enterprise-grade CLI. We'll have lunch at noon, and that will be here. And I think it's going to be pretty good. We've taken into account, hopefully, all the dietary preferences that people had. We'll kick things off after lunch at 1:15 with how Adobe I/O built an extensible CLI with Oclif. And then we'll have a talk from Evans Hauser about evolving tooling with Oclif at Apollo. We'll have another break, and then we have a talk from Sean from Netlify on adaptive intent-based CLI state machines, which is a pretty cool title. And then at 3 o'clock, we have a slightly different format. We have the Oclif core team Q&A, which will be a Q&A panel moderated by Chris Castle, who you just saw, where you'll get to ask questions, and we'll do a Q&A. So as the day progresses, if you have questions, you can either come and ask us, or you can save them for the Q&A panel. And I think we have something set up for submitting your questions, or you can ask them live. And then we'll do a closing, and then there'll be happy hour. If the weather's looking nice, we're going to do happy hour outside, and if not, it'll be inside.
Excellent. Yeah, I checked the weather, and it said at about 2 the sun should show up and stay around. So we'll see if we're lucky. Cool. So Wi-Fi, some of you may have already connected, but if you haven't, oclif, and the password is oclifconf. Restrooms are, excuse me, straight behind you. So restrooms just behind you. And then we have a mothers and family room, which is basically if you just go this way and make a bunch of rights, there's a coat check, and then there's also a mothers and family room for anyone. And then if you're feeling social, feel free to include @Heroku and hashtags oclif, oclifconf. And
we don't have an official photographer, I don't think, so definitely welcome pictures.
And then likewise, our last session will be a Q&A panel. So this short link will take you to a form that you can submit questions to. So we're going to curate questions throughout the day and then ask those during the Q&A panel. Likewise, every single talk has been built in with a little bit of question time at the end. So if you have questions about the talk, all of our speakers have graciously been open to questions at the end of their talk. So if you do have questions at the end of the talk, we'll pass around microphones. Cool. And then, so that brings us to our first speaker. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce our first speaker, Jeffrey Dickey. He was the former lead of the Heroku CLI in the oclif project, founding engineer of the oclif project, and he's currently a backend engineer at Dropbox. So Jeffrey Dickey.